And welcome back to the arena. I'm Chesser, and with moderator, we're going to be commentating Brave Collective versus Spaceship Samurai. I have my UI issues figured out. So, Brave Collective is going to be flying Double Typhoon, Eos, Onieros, Double Zvipple, Double Confessor, Purifier, Cruor. Mod, why don't you run down what Spaceship's brought?
Yeah, so Spaceship Samurai have opted to bring a double Floon setup with an Astarte, Phobos, Hick, a Hakate, Swipple, Confessor, Blackbird, and a Cruor.
You know, Mod, I almost feel like it's 2015 all over again.
Yeah, this is really taking me back.
Yeah, it is. It is taking me back. It's the double old Typhoon setup, which we haven't seen yet. We're seeing it now. Match is just beginning. Mod, what are these teams looking to do each other? Close to almost a mirror matchup here. What's going to go on?
Well, you can see that Honor's already taking their support wing in the form of the T3s, and they're balling around and burning outside with them. Maybe trying to possibly burn for Logic. You can see the Hecate is running interference on what appears to be these Typhoon fleet issues of Brave.
Do you think that going for the Typhoons right away is a great idea, at least in this kind of setup, or do you think that focusing on the support wing is a smarter move here? It looks like Spaceship's chosen support wing, while Brave is focusing on the Typhoon of Nippon of Spaceship.
Yeah, we had one of the Concordia Honor Disciples burn in for the Onieros, but he got screened off properly. So again, nice mirror match of 2015. Brave Collective is taking all their damage on Mobius in the Confessor, and it'll remain to be seen if he can hold up under all the incoming damage, but it looks like he's breaking so far.
There's very subtle differences between the Spaceship team and the Brave team. One thing to note is the Phobos of Spaceship, 37.5 kilometer scram, and it is wrapped around the Confessor, and that creates just a bubble of death for MWD T3s because they can get caught out and killed quickly. Although Mabodo, Spaceship Samurai, down at the same time that Brave did, look like they both have the same idea now after they tested the Foon tank for a moment, going for these support wings. Why are these teams doing that, Mod? Why aren't you just trying to kill battleships right away?
Well, the Floons don't have a lot of DPS to tank ratio as compared to the Cycles of the Confessors. They're only really destroyer EHP, even though they have really good resist. So getting down all the support and then being able to use your Blackbird to jam out the remaining battleships is a very good move going into this kind of a play. And we can see it's working out for them so far. They're traded 2 Confessors for a Cycle, but as I say that, one of their Fleet Typhoons is in low armor, and they'll need to thin off the DPS if they want to catch him in Hull.
Yeah, it's interesting, very interesting choices, at least on target calling here. It almost seems a little bit split out here because Brave has split their damage on a Confessor and to a Typhoon, which just went down now. Nippon, that is huge. A Typhoon gone for only 2 Confessors, Mod. That's a really big backbone of their DPS. I mean, the Phobos isn't going to bring that much, and the Astarte is mostly link boats, at least here, and they've traded Blackbird instead of pushing more bombers. I'm kind of worried about Spaceship Samurai right now being a Foon down, and they haven't even started on Brave's side. What do you think they're looking to do?
I'm worried too. So you can see that Samurai's trying to primary the Cycle of Chester and the Cruor, but they're not able to break. They can't even break through the Tech 1 resist, so they definitely can't break through the Tech 3 resist. I think Brave is just going to take the damage and snowball. You can see them grinding through this Fleet Typhoon of Dark.
I think that is the move right there. That is the smart move, going for that battleship right away. If that's off the field, this game is done. It doesn't even matter. The Onieros of Brave, even though it has some long range nuding, which is probably way in deep fall off doing nothing, and a target painter is completely fine, still in shield. Of course, now that I say that, going down a little bit, I think it's finally been caught now by the T3D support wing of Spaceship, but at this point, it's way too little, way too late. With another Foon almost biting the dust, I don't know how Spaceship's going to come back from this.
Yeah, neither do I. I think Brave Collective did a very good job of screening off the incoming Honor tackle subwing, and once they did that, they were able to counter pin down the Cycles and then work through the HP.
The second Foon bit the dust. The Phobos for Spaceship Samurai did not do enough. It was not worth the point sink. And I have to say, I am impressed with Brave. Their piloting has been very, very top-notch here. And I really like what I'm seeing. They took out a Zipple early and they started focusing on the Typhoons, which I normally would have gone for kind of the support wing first, but you know what? They've made this work and they're making the right target calls. Brave, considering this is only their second time in the tournament, very, very good showing right now, at least from the piloting point of view.
Yeah, would you say that has been a top-tier target calling?
I would definitely say it's a unique tier target calling. I personally am a big fan of taking out support wings first, but right now Brave is just probably going to clean up with what's left. They've got webs spread out on the Confessor, Blackbird, and the other Zipple. Looks like the Astarte is taking damage now. damage is kind of spread all over, but at this point, I don't think it matters. I think Brave has to be very, very satisfied with themselves because honestly, that was a good performance.
Yeah, they executed that fairly well. I think they came into this match with definite advantage. I prefer taking an Oneros or some form of Logi at the very least over no Logi, especially when you have the Tech 3 Destroyers. Tech 3
Uh,
Destroyers don't have a lot of EHP, but what they do have is very good resistances, and when you pair them with a Logistics, you can make them survive far longer than a
yeah,
normal Destroyer would.
I definitely agree. You know, Phobos is very powerful with this long scram, and I was trying to go back to that because it's just been a big change from 2015, allowing these, I'm not saying allowing, but having Hicks where you actually will see them played because of these scrams, but I don't think it did enough. It was not worth its 13 points when you consider a Tech 2 Logi being 15 points, and I didn't see it. I didn't understand what its job was in this setup. A lot of Logi ships are AB, and if they do get scrammed, they can continue to AB, and you really need the web on them, which the T3D setups can get. So it seemed that Spaceship, for me, their only chance of winning was to snipe that Logi immediately, and that did not happen. In fact, it didn't even take damage, so the Typhoons didn't even try to shoot it, which might have been smart considering it wasn't webbed, but, you know, really disappointing, actually. Or what could be said is Brave had some excellent screening, which we certainly did see, but, you know, you really can't screen a Phobos all that well, and, you know, this is kind of what happens when you don't have a Logi on your team. You just get picked apart and eaten alive the longer the match goes on.
Yeah, we can see that throughout the match that Brave Collective had their E-War and tackle, generally speaking, rather well spread, so that the Spaceship Samurai ships weren't able to properly support each other. The Confessors and Disciples, very good at close range, but outside of just a couple kilometers, they can't really do any appreciable damage. So, very well screened by Brave Collective, and they'll be taking this match very handily, I'd say.
Yeah, I like how both teams throw in a crew ore there, but I think Brave made a smart decision with going with a crew ore for their, you know, additional type of long-range webbing, long-range screening, and they didn't need to sink all those points into a hick, which is what, you know, Spaceship did. Again, very smart target calling on Brave, leaving the hick for last. It should have an absolutely ginormous tank, but it's getting completely melted, and that is exciting. That ship goes down. Maud, take us home.
Yeah, very well played by Brave Collective. I look forward to seeing what they'll do in the upcoming rounds. And with that, we're going to send it back to the boys in the studio.